Hi, welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave in the comments in the comment section, like and share the video as well. Going to give you a quick roundup of all WWE news coming out throughout the last few days. So, going to be starting first off with Beach Ball Mania. Of course, the Beach Balls have been high in force on Raw and SmackDown this week. In fact, SummerSlam as well, to the point that even Cesaro on SummerSlam actually went and into the crowd, took the beach ball and actually burst the beach ball. Now, personally for me, looking at the report very quickly, it says that now that security was on high alert during SmackDown, and they were told by WWE not to allow any pool-related items, including beach balls, that could distract from what's going on in the ring. Now, personally, for me, I'm not a big fan of the beach balls. Never have been a fan of that idea. For that exact reason, it takes away the eyes from what's going on at ringside. And you could see that with quite a few of the majority of the matches this week on WWE programming, actually just everyone stopped watching what was going on in the ring, was more interested in the beach ball. And when you're looking at particularly the one match that really highlighted for me was Finn Balor versus Jason Jordan. Now, every fan is crying for Finn Balor to get a push, to do well. And what message does it send when the whole crowd, especially in quite a hardcore fan area like Brooklyn and perhaps a lot of outsiders coming for a big four show in the WWE calendar. You normally get these special 4 days of tickets where you go to NXT, to SummerSlam, Raw, SmackDown. And there was a lot of wrestling action for people to sit through and to put up with. So if the show's not great, in one way I suppose it keeps them awake, it keeps them alert. But at the same time, when you see someone like Finn Balor in the ring and then you do like the beach ball acts going around the arena and show more interest in that, what does that say to the officials backstage? It says we're not invested in this guy. It says that we're not, wanting to see this guy at the top. And then we see Roman Reigns come out, the guy that everybody doesn't want to be in the main event, or John Cena, fans shouting, "You both suck." But you're watching what they're doing. You're invested in what they're doing, and this tells WWE that no matter how much you boo them, you care about what they're doing. And when you see Finn Balor in the ring, you don't care what he's doing, even though he's the guy you claim you want at the top. So that's for me a big reason why I'm not a fan of the beach balls, and I am personally very happy that they are not going to be involved in WWE arenas going forward after this. I think it was a bad move to begin with. I thought it was disrespectful from the start, not just for Finn Balor, for every superstar that it involves. They're there trying to do what they do best in the ring, and people aren't even paying attention. And you can see with a lot of the superstars that they were quite angry looking around the arena and seeing these beach balls going off when they're trying to do what they're doing. It's almost to the point of, well, if the cameras weren't rolling, we might as well stop. Moving on next into the next story, and of course SmackDown Live, very eventful this week after seeing John Cena turn up on Raw with his free agent status and being on Raw. We've seen that Shelton Benjamin has returned to SmackDown Live. He's going to be teaming with Chad Gable. If you've been watching the Facebook Live post that I'm doing on SCW, the Wrestling Podcast, go on to the top of the search engine, type that in right now and hit a like on that. You will know that I'm a big fan of this idea of a tag team for Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, although I didn't realise how much taller Benjamin was than Chad Gable. It was quite amusing to see them two standing next to each other, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring in the ring next week, and of course it does bring another tag team to SmackDown Live, which at the moment WWE are lacking tag teams, so for me this is not a bad thing. Also, Bobby Roode, we got glorious on SmackDown Live with him making his debut. Rumours are suggesting he's going to be taking a top spot on SmackDown Live very, very quickly. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that unfolds. And personally, for me, if you want my view, I think it's going to be glorious. I think that it looks like, looking at NXT TV this week, there was a lot that he still has to do in NXT, but perhaps it's going to be done between the takeovers, which means he's only got to be there for the tapings maybe once, face Roderick Strong, lose to him, lose the rematch to Drew McIntyre, and then he can just concentrate on being on the main roster. Enzo Amore is now a part of 205 Live as well. I think his ratings do pretty well, so this is why they're doing this. It's definitely a boost then for 205 for that meaning. I don't think he's going to become the Cruiserweight Champion anytime soon. Rumours are he's being punished and not liked backstage, so I don't expect that. But maybe his mighty skills can come into good use. Maybe it could be a good promo with Neville, and maybe we'll have to just wait and see. But maybe Enzo could bring something to 205 Live and maybe get himself back in the good books of WWE. Now, before we go into one other bad boy, we're going to go on to John Cena very quickly and why he's on Raw. Rumours are suggesting via ringsidenews.com backstage that Vince McMahon wanted John Cena on Raw to give him some fresher matchups to the likes of Samoa Joe, for example, and Braun Strowman. And of course, then ultimately, he can give the rub to Roman Reigns. Now, they started building that on Raw this week. I would love to see that take place actually at No Mercy. Of course, we do know already we've got Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. That has been announced, signed, sealed, and delivered. I also expect, with the women's division as well, that could take some shape perhaps with Raw this week with Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. Maybe we're not going to get that on the following show, but of course Alexa Bliss is actually for the Visionette for it. She is the face of that, so I expect her to be on the event in some fashion. But of course, yeah, with John Cena and Roman Reigns, I would like to see it happen, but I think the likelihood at the moment is that we could get perhaps Cena and Joe, because Joe went straight after Cena on Raw as well, intervening himself in, and possibly we could get Roman Reigns versus The Miz, which I'm not too keen on at this particular moment, mainly because of the IC title. I would like to see The Miz keep hold of that belt, and certainly more than anything, don't want to see it on Roman Reigns, because I do feel it will be wasted like the United States Championship was last year. Now, going on to the bad boys then, once again, Baron Corbin. Now, what is the reason for his derailed push? Now, a lot of people are suggesting social media, Dave Meltzer being one of those. Well, coming out as a report this afternoon, Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso was on Wrestling Inc.'s podcast, and he actually said that John Cena was the person behind Baron Corbin's push coming to an end. He said, "I heard the kiss of death was Cena. Cena said that Corbin wasn't ready. I can't say any more right now. That's kind of what I'm trying to work on as we speak." So very interesting stuff indeed. He did go on to say as well, I haven't heard anything about social media. I mean, he's a heel, right? So he's supposed to be on social media. I don't think that was the issue. But then again, that kind of pick and choose who they defend in those cases, I don't know. But right now, I don't think it's social media being the reason. So very interesting stuff indeed. And of course, John Cena, had been going around that he hasn't been killing people's momentums and he was starting to put people over. Is he to blame for this? I'm not so sure. It's an accusation there that's being made. Look forward to hearing more of that when it does come out. But of course, Super Cena has had a history in the past, perhaps destroying the Nexus when that was on top form. Wade Barrett never really recovered from it, and I think that was a crime. Being English myself, but I'd love to see Barrett as the first ever WWE heavyweight champion from the UK, or certainly from England. We've yet to see that, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Going on to another one of the supposed bad boys, I'm not always in the favour, is Rusev. And now a speculation of his quick loss to Randy Orton at SummerSlam was not actually done against Rusev. That wasn't actually done. It wasn't the reason for it. The reasoning for it, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, is that it was a fluke loss for Rusev, and it will play into the storyline. Belief is that Orton needed a pay-per-view win after his poor run of pay-per-view matches with Bray Wyatt and Jinder Mahal. The loss was not to punish Rusev, and it was mainly done for pro-Orton decisions. So perhaps we can expect to see another match between Randy Orton and Rusev coming up at the next SmackDown Live pay-per-view extravaganza, maybe at Hell in a Cell, and perhaps this one will have a longer than 10 seconds in the ring. The other rumour that's going around with Rusev and as well Lana is that they've actually asked for their releases from WWE over the past week. This is actually a false statement. Lana had taken to Twitter to address those rumours, saying that that's what that's called "Don't believe the pathetic villagers that pretend that they are journalists with real facts." Ha 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 ha. So it seems to be that is completely false. And personally, for me, I don't really want to see them outside of WWE. I would like to see them back together, maybe even with Tamina as well. It could be interesting to see a faction with two females and one male superstar. Normally, it's the other way around. So it could be interesting to see how that would play out in time to come. One more story before I leave you. The long-term plans for the New Day have been revealed. Now, many are suggesting the New Day are stale, and that, of course, they'd like to see them break up, go their own separate ways. Doesn't look like it's going to happen in any time in the near future. In fact, the plan at the moment, from what I have gathered from my sources, main source being the Wrestling Observer newsletter, is that the New Day are being prepped to being one of the greatest WWE tag teams in the entire of WWE's history in any era whatsoever. So they've got the longest reigning tag team championship reign, and now they're looking to perhaps maybe have the most title reigns in future. Now, the record currently is held by the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian. Both teams have 7 title reigns. The New Day currently sits at 3, so there would be 4 more title reigns to equal, 5 more to take over. So that would suggest to me that there's at least 2 more years in the New Day reign before they have any possibility of breaking them up as a team. And to be honest, really, why would WWE break them up? They are great for merchandise, great for selling points, and great for the kids' market, so I don't blame them for that. That's all the news there for you then in this one video update. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you like this, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe on the subscribe button. Leave me a comment what your favourite story was and if you like this format. If so, I'll do more of it going in the future. But that's everything for your WWE news. I've been Steve here for SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.